Okay. So what's our goal here?
I guess everybody has a different idea of what health is. What is health?
Right.
Being healthy is.
And us coming up in that world, we're young, first of all, right? So we're kind of on our jump start in the career. I'm a chiropractor. You are a
Biomedical
engineer. So we come from two very different backgrounds, but kind of similar. So I guess, what does health mean to you?
I guess being healthy means eating right, exercising regularly, not hurting when you go up the stairs. You know, I don't know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever walked up the stairs and not hurt before?
Yes.
Because I'm young and it hurts me, so not healthy. Okay.
I mean, my idea of being healthy is like very basic. Like I don't really like look into it. I just kind of make sure that I eat right, kind of like, and exercise regularly. And for me, as long as I feel I wake up in the morning and I have energy, I think I'm healthy.
So, would you say that maybe, where do you get like most of your education on like health from?
Whatever I happen to look at on the internet at the time.
So internet?
Yeah.
What about like parents or?
No, my parents are horrible. My parents, they grew up drinking. They're not horrible. They've had good health throughout the years.
Right.
But their habits are pretty bad in terms of like, we drink pretty often, right? Like 1 or 2 beers a night, nothing crazy. We eat high-fat foods, everything's fried, rice and meat and everything. So definitely like, not that many meals.
Right. Okay, what about school? Like, you're a biomedical engineer, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, biomedical, you must have training. But, what's your curriculum like when it comes to just like health in general? Like you're creating devices or involved in research for things that, affect health. Do you guys get
No, not really.
classes on that?
Not really. I think the biomedical engineer field in general is kind of like you're jack of all trades but master of none. So we don't really know exactly what we're doing.
The goal.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a project. Okay.
Yeah, unless you're in a project.
Yeah.
But like food-wise, no. Nutrition-wise, no guidance.
So I would say you're probably like 75% of the world, or America at least.
Yeah. I mean, when I talk to my friends, they have even less.
Even less, yeah.
It's like for them, it's like whatever is easier and whatever's cheaper. Because the sad thing is, like in the world today, like for you to eat healthier is actually more expensive and it's harder. You gotta go to specific stores, you gotta go to specific places, spend more money because it's organic or something.
And I will debunk that, by the way. So that will be another episode.
Yeah, well, that's what people's impression is.
Right.
Like,
and that's what we've been trained to do.
Yeah.
You drive down the street. Like I live right here in downtown Fort Lauderdale. You just turn right and you see like every fast food place that you can possibly think of in a half-mile radius. So of course it's like in your face every day, driving to work, going somewhere, going to the beach. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
and just stop in there.
And it is the easiest way. Like, if you're gonna go somewhere, stop by Taco Bell real quick. And get something, whatever it is, as long as it's under $4. That's just what it is. I mean, I have a bunch of friends that they eat out for every meal, and that can't be healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, fast food.
Fast food, yeah. There's definitely tips and tricks from people that I've known involved in that world of nutrition and research and stuff that help give you information on like options that are out there.
Yeah.
But okay.
I mean, how do you feel about health? What does it mean to you? When you hear me say these things, like, how does it make you feel?
Cringe. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not perfect, right? But I grew up, my mom's pretty like healthy in general. She's always been like a workout kind of girl, like teaches spin and runs and does that. So I grew up in sports. And then in sports, performance is your goal. So you want to do anything you can to like perform at your best. And so a lot of times that's like changing how you eat. When you're a kid, you can kind of get away with stuff more so than others. Like you can eat poorly and probably still do okay, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to affect you down the road.
Yeah.
So I had some like health issues come up in college and before that, even when I was growing up, that always like I had to change how I ate because of a condition. So my brain already kind of knew that connection of like food and health. And then I became fascinated. And then I went through...
That's something that everybody doesn't realize. Food and health. People just think eating
like,
is just
like
being
food
full.
to survive, and then like health is different. Yeah. Or you can't really connect like why you feel some way and like know that it's maybe food. You know, they always think of something else.
I don't think anybody... Well, a lot of people don't realize that.
Right. But yeah, and then, you know, I went through schooling and I decided to become a chiropractor because I always grew up around like natural ways of healing and rehabbing injuries back instead of taking meds and eating well to feel better, to fix something. So that was definitely where my mind turned to like specialize in it. So health to me, I don't know, I feel like everybody should want to live like an optimal level of health, right? You don't want to walk around subpar all the time. You don't want to wake up and just be tired 24/7. Like there's so many things in our society nowadays that like fights against us. You kind of want to set yourself up to just, you know, adapt. You want to adapt better. You see all these like health coaches and fitness coaches on Instagram and stuff, but if you find the right one, it's great, but it's not that difficult. It's making minor changes or even just knowing. And that's something, you know, I was surrounded by it, so to me it seemed common sense. As I start working on patients, talking to people, learning more, working with people that specialize in this, do research every day, coach people, I realized, oh my gosh, like it's not common sense at all. Which is wild because of how much like information we have on the internet and stuff. But I think the problem too is like there's so many conflicting things too, so people really don't know what to follow, what to believe.
That's another thing.
So I think that's where education is key. I would say that's like my biggest goal.
So I mean, eat to live healthy and not just eat to eat and be full
be
and happy.
there, like be a space in the world.
Like in a sense it's like almost anti-American, right? Because America's like, oh, it's huge servings, most bang for your buck, buy one get one.
I know. But like then you travel to other countries, like you've traveled a ton, and then I just traveled with you, and you see people from other cultures that still have those traditional roots from like, you know, hundreds of thousands of years ago, and they eat like a portion this big, and yet they're satisfied, they have the nutrition they need, and their energy levels are, you know, a lot higher than I would say most of America in general. They're not like crashing at 3 p.m. Except for Spain has it made because they do siestas, so definitely think I'm moving there. But seriously, like that's something that I've noticed through like other cultures that keep their roots for the most part. They still grow like locally, and their portion size are smaller, and they get nutrition in their food versus like commercialized products where you're missing a lot. So again, education and just like we started from somewhere for a reason. All these foods we eat came from culture originally, and they had specific reasons to eating those foods to help with their like performance, their survival, their, you know, what they had offered to them in that area. So kind of bringing it back to the simpler life.
Which is usually the easiest, I mean, the simplest answer. It's usually the right answer.
They make it really complicated. But that's what health is to me. So
how about somebody's looking at this video and they say, all right, I'm gonna be healthy, I'm gonna eat to live, you know, and be more conscious about it. When they're gonna try a new diet, let's say like keto or whatever it may be, how long do they have to stay to it to see if it's actually working for them?
Oh man, I wish it was that simple. I mean, gosh, what I'm thinking of doing is we should do interviews for this topic of people that we know, professionals all over the place, not just in the health industry, but like that are involved or uninvolved, to get their opinion. But there's not a one-stop shop of answers for like a diet.
People think that
that's why you call it the fad diet. So like they do it, they lose weight, great, you know, but then guess what? The second that you come off of it because you just made this giant switch, and that's not really health either. Eating well is one part of it. That's why I like to see other people's like ideas of what health means, because to me it encompasses everything. It's not just food and diet.
That's the thing
it's
too, right?
mentality,
It's your mental state,
your activity level, you know, what you do to stay active. And doesn't mean you have to run marathons, but you know, like being sedentary, our bodies weren't made to do that at the beginning of human time, you know. So there's a lot of things I think that are involved in health, And I feel like there's so many people out there that know like specific details on each one of those topics. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna interview them. We're gonna get their opinion, their advice, and go from there.
Are these things chiropractors usually talk about?
You know, I think they preach it.
Because for me, I've always known a chiropractor, you go, you get your back adjusted, and you're good to play in the game, you know. Sign off on a paper, and then that's it.
You know, I don't want to debunk, because chiropractic came from a philosophy that I think really wanted to help people heal naturally and, like, show them that your body's resilient. So I love that part of our career. But I think, unfortunately, nothing's ever that simple. It's multifactorial. People specialize in all kinds of things. So, like, while one chiropractor might not know that much about nutrition, they should be open-minded to work with someone that does. But I don't think a lot of chiropractors, I don't want to speak for like the career as a whole, but like I just from who I've met and what I've seen, that they don't really encompass all of what they want to, and it's difficult. You know, you're only one person. You only have so much time with patients. You only have like, you know, the structure in your brain to like describe everything that you want to. But I think that we could be doing a better job.
Is it chiropractor's job to tell people how to live healthy?
I think so. I think it's any healthcare professional's. I mean, yeah, any healthcare professional's job should be to educate, number one, and then to do what they do the best, which is, you know, whatever they specialize in. Like I think, you know, an orthopedic surgeon, they should educate the patient on the purpose of why they're doing X, Y, and Z, and things to help complement that procedure or that rehab or that medication, and then do what they specialize after. You know, if it's a knee replacement, I mean, of course I'm going to go to an orthopedic surgeon. Chiropractors, same way, even for your job. Like just educating people you network with or that ask you about it or something.
I think that's a good point. Like, for your healthcare profession, you should really ask yourself, are you really learning? Is he educating you, or is he really telling you how to live a better life instead of just like having you come in, treat, and charge, and get by? You know, that's a big difference, I think.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the goal. We're just gonna educate a couple of youngins out here trying to change the world. But if you have any questions or ideas, or if you're a professional that wants to get involved in this and just like preach on what you do, that would be awesome. Comment, tag us, message us. Have a great night.